my throttlers. Now we've wheeled in Calamity Jane, Chris Keeble's absolutely beautiful machine, and let's do a bit of a walk around, and maybe Chris can tell us about what's going on, where it came from, and what's inspired her for all this crazy vegan leather work. Anyway, let's have a look at the bike, starting at the back, Chris.
Okay, well, we've got the fishtail pipes here, which, you know, something that when I bought the bike, I said, yeah, I've got to have those. I mean, all this is fairly standard Indian fringing stuff.
Right.
And believe it or not, I wasn't a fringy girl.
Right, okay.
I certainly am now. Now, these are original Indian saddlebags. These are the older variety, the older leather, before they brought out the newer, lighter one that was a little bit more weather resistant. But I wanted the old look. But what I've attached to it is this. It's just a cosmetic. It was on these old saddlebags I had on the Harley, and these are vintage, made in Japan of all places. I found them, bought them back, and they were a whole saddlebag, but they were useless because there was hardly any space, where the Indian bags are good and deep and lots of room.
Yep.
But what I loved about them was this front with the equestrian steampunky vibe going on. So I cut them up and got the drill and started bolting and doing stuff like that, and then I started staining these bags to try and match that brown. So that's been, you know, a bit of an experiment, but so this is just a cosmetic flap, if you like.
Right.
The bags are still a normal functioning thing.
Absolutely. And talk me through this saddle.
The saddle, okay. Well, the saddle was on the Fat Bob that I had before, and was one of the conditions of me coming over. You know, I've never owned horses, but I have this. I love horses and that equestrian steampunk vibe going on. This saddle I found on eBay from Pakistan, of all places. So people say, oh, those things cost thousands. Well, no, it didn't actually. It only cost about 300 odd. But it was all tooled. And again, this was much lighter. So this has been stained and done. But it's functional. It's been properly docked with a quick release docking system, as if that was a back seat.
Yeah.
I haven't taken it on off because I'm afraid I won't get it back on. It's uncomfortable as all buggery. So, like, I don't pillion people, but it's more, as I said, it's more of a cosmetic addition. But it is functional and put on properly. But it's a great space for me to put my duffel bag when I go away. So it holds the bag, and I've got these things turn out to be great to sort of secure things on. The cow head is just something I picked up in Bali, actually. It's not real, it's just a resin carved thing. A real head would be a little bit too big. I mean, I do know
and
how
probably hard to get in the country too.
Yes. And these are from Arizona. When I went over there, they're just touristy things, but I thought, oh, they're going to look interesting.
They look fantastic.
What else here? I have just a cow just another little pouch just to put gloves and stuff in there. It was a handbag, but you know, I've turned it into something for the bike. Bells. I mean, these little sterling silver things I pick up on my travels when I went over to America. Oh, these stirrups. Now, I don't use stirrups because they'd be too dangerous, but a gentleman, Larry Taylor in New Mexico, follows me, and he had these, and he said, Chris, I'm going to send you these because they would look great on your bike. And I said, oh my God, man, that's going to cost you a lot. Please don't go to any expense. But anyway, he did.
They do look amazing.
And they're genuine early turn of the century stirrups.
Wow,
from the real cowboys and Indian days. So they're the real McCoy. They're a real collector's item.
So this isn't real patina?
This is a vinyl wrap.
Beautiful, it looks amazing.
So,
and just like we said earlier in the interview, it looks better in real life than it does on photos.
I think it does.
Yeah.
So I worked with One Day Wraps on this, and Judd. I searched for a lot of people. I was thinking it needed to be like a spray job, but anyway, no one could do it. Anyway, this guy I met, Judd from One Day Wraps. He actually came up with the dripping rust idea. So I had the design, I had the finish look I wanted and everything, and he came back to me and he put that in. I went, oh man, you've got the gig. You're on totally the same page as me.
Looks amazing.
What else is here?
And this is what we just saw you.
Yeah, that's what I picked up from Paul. That's one of these bags. So I've got some. Well, I don't know what I'm going to put in there. Lipstick. It's a good lipstick holder for me.
Sounds good to me.
So there's that. Drink cup holder. You know, I've added all my trinkets, of course. This has actually been such a good thing. I thought, oh no, this is going to be too much, but I put it on for a long ride when I went out to Dubbo in the middle of summer, and it was the best. It was so good because I
Pop your water bottle in there. Yeah.
GPS, which I need, of course, with all the places I go, because I travel on my own a lot. There's nothing worse than getting lost. I'm hopeless with directions, so I need that.
Yeah.
Speaker system.
Oh, okay.
So that plugs in. I've got it's just attached to my little iPod Nano. They still do exist. I've got this old one. It's great, and that's in there, and I have that in there, and with my lipstick. And I listen to music on long, boring rides. But if I'm over 110, 120, it's wasted. You can't hear much. But generally, it's a good system. I don't like to listen to music in my ears in those Bluetooth things.
Yeah.
I can't cope with that. But this has been great. Or stuck in boring Sydney traffic, I'll put on the music. At least it makes that bit little go faster.
Have a dance.
Yeah.
Very nice. Coming around now, you said there's a shrunken head here somewhere.
Oh, she's around here. So, and these are just, they're called fork cuffs. I got those made, I think, in Bali when I went there. Yeah, I did.
And here's the shrunken head.
So this is Rockefeller. Yeah, I mean, it's not a real, please don't think, I mean, that's my ex-husband. But no, it's a copy of what a shrunken head looks like. But the sewn everything. This is exactly what they'd look like. This is goat hair.
Very nice.
And
very unique. You don't see that often.
That's sitting on an antique leather cup holder, drink bottle holder, I should say. That's really weathered down a lot, but it has got on it a carved Indian head. I picked that up in Byron Bay.
Wow.
But it is getting a bit weathered there now. It doesn't. Rockefeller jumps out of it a lot. So here we have something. This is from Sedona in Arizona. It's an old gun holder, in here is just a toy, a toy wooden gun, which I tend to not ride with anything because I don't want to get booked by the police.
No,
it's
that's
just more
right.
If I'm at show or when I've got the bike parked, I'll put the little gun in there as a bit of fun.
For sure.
And these heat shields here are actually very good. The motor on these, they do get hot, and because I live in the city, sometimes I can be an hour on the bike before I get out onto the road, and the heat from the motor gets hot. So these heat shields are actually very good. They work. I've got shields here as well one for the heat, one for the cold. That just sort of, because I don't have heated grips.
Yeah.
That just
takes
cuts
the wind off.
It does. Yeah, they're pretty good as well.
Oh, very nice.
Well, I don't think there's anything else in there that. Oh, that's the event, yeah. And she's about 400 kilos, I reckon, but I will go to a weigh station one day and...
I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, that might even be a whole story.
Yeah.
Me turning up there at the weigh station.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, boys. It's not often a woman wants you to weigh up.
That's right. That's right.